Hi guys, it's Jason here with you, and we are here live from Cottage Grove, Oregon. I hope that you guys are having a great day on this Sunday afternoon, and I know I am, especially after yesterday's Doug game. We're going to talk about the Washington Oregon game, the classic in Austin yesterday, as the 7th ranked Huskies go down to the 17th ranked Oregon Ducks. I hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. So let's just break it down. It was a close ball game throughout. It was 17 all at halftime. It was 24-24 after 3 quarters. It was 24-24 after the fourth quarter, after Washington's kicker Henry missed a field goal to win it at the horn, and Oregon went on the defense first in the overtime, and Oregon just they got a touchdown. They gave up a field goal to Washington to start overtime. They got the ball back, and they got the ball back. They got the ball second, and they went down. They scored a 6-yard C.J. Vardahl run. Wins it for Oregon 30-27. Hey, I get it. If Henry makes that kick in the fourth quarter to win this ball game, we're talking about a different narrative, and I get it. I understand Cristobal used the 2 timeouts. You're not going to take those timeouts anyway, so you might as well use them. And he missed the kick. It looked like it was going to go in, but the wind was blowing left, and it just drifted. Justin Herbert wasn't perfect by no means. He missed it on some balls, but the key stat for him, no turnovers. The only turnover by Oregon was on special teams. Tony Rich James fumbled. Alex Morgan forced that fumble, and if you're from Oregon, you know who Alex Morgan is. Helped wrestle him to a state title a couple years ago, and I think his father played for Oregon, so the Morgan family once again, and former Oregon prep star making the plays against Oregon. We see that with the Stanford linebacker Joey Fahey. He played his ball at Jesuit Portland High School. So back to this game. C.J. Vardahl making a 6-yard touchdown run. Kind of a redemption story for that kid. He had that fumble at the end of the Stanford game. Really, I wouldn't say cost Oregon, because, like I've been saying, it shouldn't have came down to that. But it is what it is, and he got the opportunity to score the touchdown. Listening to Cristobal in his press conference, it was 2 downs. It was on the 6-yard line. I think if we got some yards or no gain play, we would have went forward on the 4th and goal. So Cristobal really aggressive play calling. Was it too aggressive? Didn't throw the ball down the field. With this Washington defense, you're not going to be able to throw the ball over the top against this defense. Not very good at defense. They are very sound tackling, and the one at Oregon as well too. They would too. Yeah, the yards for Washington was 437, but I think the key moments is you didn't let Washington burn you on a lot of plays. I felt we contained Jake Browning for most of the day. Granted, he was 9 for 10 in the second half at 1 point. He was very accurate. Threw a touchdown in that second half. So Brownie was accurate, but I felt the plays that he made, the best throws that he made all day was just because the pass rush didn't get there. The DBs were covering good, but when your DBs cover for about 6 or 7 seconds, you're gonna give up big plays, and we saw that a couple of times. And granted, Oregon just kept on fighting. It was a heavyweight fight all day long. Oregon rushed the ball pretty good, 177 yards, 3.6 yards per carry. Washington, yeah, they were near 200 yards rushing the ball, not 194, 4.3 rushing. Speaking of Washington's rushing attack, Myles Gaskin, 15 carries, 69 yards. He played very little in the second half. I think they said there was a shoulder injury that was bugging him. He might have played 5 plays, if that, during the second half. So I hope Myles Gaskin gets healthy. He's trying to rush for 1,000 yards. He says each year that he's been in the Cardinals, so 4 straight years. Right off the top of my head, Tony Dorsett did that in the 80s. I think Kenneth Simonton did that for Oregon State. A very fun Beaver to watch. Kenneth Simonton was one of my favorite players to watch. Fun and imposing team to watch back when I was in middle school and high school. But Muhammad came in and ran the ball pretty well for Washington. 11 carries, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sample was the leading wide receiver for yards, 76. 76 for Washington, and Florida, we kind of shut them down. 2 catches for 15 yards. And another stat to mention, Bart Kevin, the linebacker, and I apologize to any Husky fans that I'm butchering his name, but 19 tackles, that's very impressive. He's a tackling monster for sure. You look at the stats, pretty even down the way. 22 first downs to Oregon's 24. 16 for 13 Washington, 9 out of 16 for Oregon on the third down. Oregon was 3 for 3 on the fourth down. That was a really big cost. I think Washington was 1 for 3 on the fourth down. Yardage, Washington had a slight edge for 37 to Oregon's 376. Passing 243 for Washington, 202 for Oregon. Rushing 194 to 177 for Washington. Favorite penalties, Oregon had 7 for 70. Washington had 5 penalties for 39 yards. Each team had 1 turnover. Washington's came on the Jake Browning interception, was his first throw of the game. I think Javon Harden got that pick, I believe. And time of possession, 30 minutes and 37 seconds for the Huskies, 29 and 23 seconds for the Ducks. So let's talk about it. What does this game mean for Oregon? It means that they have the tiebreaker over Washington. They still lost to Stanford, which hurts now because Stanford hasn't looked really good since. They got Arizona State. Stanford does next week. I believe that's a Thursday night game, but Oregon needs to win out because I truly believe Washington won't lose another game. They'll be a favorite in every game. They got Colorado at home next week. They go to Cal in 2 weeks. Cal is winless in the conference, and they have Stanford at home, but they do go to the Palouse. That's always a tricky place to play, but Washington has had their number in recent years. Like I said, I don't see that Washington losing. On the flip side, I don't see Oregon losing. I don't see Oregon losing, but they do have tricky games on their schedule. They go to Washington State next week. I always believe that the Palouse is always a tricky place to play at. If you're a visitor, Washington State doesn't lose at home very much. And you do go to Utah here next month, which at Salt Lake City is always a tricky place to play to as well. So you got key games for Oregon, key games for Washington to coming up. What does this game mean as a Duck fan? To me, it just means that we have the tiebreaker against Washington. Am I right in the package of North title? No, absolutely not. This is week 6, week 7. There's plenty of football to play. But Oregon looks like a very good team. Very big win. I realize this game could have gone any other way. Hats off to Washington. They're a very good football team. I know I dislike Washington, but respect is given just because they're a very good coach team, and whatnot. Jake Browning will end his career at Washington 2-2 against Oregon. Lost his freshman year and his senior year, so it is what it is. But saying this, it's a very big win. Cristobal gets a marquee win on its leisure. So that's very key. The one thing that's really impressive with me is the line play. Speaking of line play, we did lose 2 linemen. I'm not sure what's the extent of the injuries. Pernell Schul, the star freshman lineman, and Dallas Womack, the Alabama transfer, got hurt. So pretty much you had to play most of that fourth quarter with 2 new linemen, Alex Kappa and I forget the other lineman's name, but Oregon did rush for about 177. It was a good game, and when I know I was confident before the game, but I knew deep down that this was going to be a dog fight, and it was. The scoring per quarter was even. I did say, making my preview video, that Oregon needed to score at least 14 points in the second half, and they scored 13 points due to that overtime touchdown and that touchdown in the third. So, like I said, it just means that we beat Washington. That's all it is. It felt good. It really felt good, especially 2 years ago. This Washington team put a beating on Oregon in Autzen Stadium, 70-21, and just watched this victory. It was really good. As a Duck fan, it felt great. It always feels great when you beat a rival, and it's a rivalry. But moving forward with this Washington Oregon rivalry, Cristobal versus Peterson for the years to come. It's going to be a great rivalry. I truly believe that for sure. And Oregon moving forward, it just means you beat Washington. It's a good job, but there's things there's still goals ahead that Oregon has on the ledger. Um, Oregon's goals are, I'm assuming, definitely a Pac-12 North title and a Pac-12 title. Those are still viable goals that Oregon has. So um, so you just have a 24-hour rule. You flush that out. That's out, and then you get to play Washington State, which game day is going to Pullman. It is a 4:30 kickoff. I believe that game is on Fox or FS1, I believe. And for Washington, you got Colorado, 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday. Once again, Oregon beats Washington 30-27. A very good win for the Ducks. They get a marquee win under Mario Cristobal, and Oregon continues to roll. And let's team up, one game at a time. Oregon once again 30-27 in overtime beats the 7th ranked Huskies, and Oregon will go to Washington State. Once again, my name's been Jason, and this has been the Humpy Report. And have a great day and have a good week. I'll talk to you guys next time.